Okay, guys. So it's been a while. Um, yeah, it's been a while, like a while. Well, things been hectic, like a lot of stuff doing in the different genres and so on. So yeah, that's why I hadn't like done any videos in a while. But it's like from one week to the other, and then in between it's time for rest, time for studying my other little stuff and so forth. But I'm back again, and actually, what we're going to be doing for today is behind the curtain. So it's like this like you guys know how the behind the curtain goes already. It's like anything I produce that I would like basically show you guys like the how it was done kind of stuff. So let's just get into that. Yeah, so for today, we're going to be going over this live recording of Triple K. The rhythm behind it was produced by me. So yeah.
It's the same thing. That's why we have to mash you up, on the road in the corner down there by the pecs. You remember when you jump up on a car and you mash it up?
Sing!
Sample!
Yes! Smoking your blood. Emotional damage. Yeah! Right! Hey! Open up!
So we'll just do this as usual.
VIP! Ronnie! Rolando! Yes! What's it then, Roy? Louis! Seattle! Just welcome on prospect. What's it, baby?
Hello?
Sophia Scottsdale.
Good to see you. Hello?
Hey!
Abos?
Why not, boy, Bruno? La boy.
Why you back, sir?
So yeah, that's
Here we go. Pretty girls, you are jam. Sexy girls.
okay. So that's what we'll be going over today. Ironically, like yeah, like of I just remember DJ Bryce. I just remember Bryce. Bryce like everybody else like yo okay. Oh, so you that make that? Okay, well the madness speak for itself. Yeah, so basically anyway, that was some kind of crazy rhythm that like does a lot of crazy shit, but songs nice and yeah, your boy responsible. So ironically, this one was well, not ironically, nah. Um, Unlike usual, this one was actually made in Ableton. So I decided like I think I actually made a recording of this while I was doing it, but something actually went wrong with the recording. So that's why I didn't post the recording again. Yeah. I think what happened was my output. So it's like this is my audio interface, and anything I do from my audio interface, it does not give like a direct playback into the recording software. So I just have to like go onto FLSIO and stuff. And yeah, I actually did the whole process, and after like when I realized like it wasn't set to that, so I made it was in the recording, and nothing didn't come through. So that was the problem. So that's why I didn't get that. Because originally I wanted to be like, okay, well, since I've always shown you guys like how to like do things in make rhythm in Cubase, in FL Studio, and then I'm a person I use like FL Studio, Cubase, and Ableton, and it's mainly depends on like what I doing. So I would mainly do like Bouyon in FL Studio because I'm more comfortable with it when I do like pop music, um, R&B, K-pop, them kind of stuff. There, I mainly do them in like Ableton. Sometimes I might do it in Cubase, but I mainly compose in Cubase. So I do like my composition and stuff in Cubase, and a few times I might do it in Ableton, but I prefer the layout of Cubase for a composer setting. But yeah, so basically, I have this in like four groups, no, five actually, and groups is like bosses, because like actually when I did that, like probably like 2 minutes before I decide like okay the project is complete, I sent a message to the guy for Triple K and I was like, yo, I have like this rhythm dance stuff and so on. Um, they were playing like the Sunday evening, I think. I messaged him like the Sunday afternoon. I'm like, yeah, I have this reading for you and so forth. Then yeah, send it across while I was still making it, and then I was like, well, I just finishing up and so on. And he said, well, yeah, send it across and so on. So then later they played it in that same jam. That was actually when they had that jam. Like later that day they had the jam. So when I met him like before they played, he was like, when did you make that? I was like, this afternoon itself. Like as I was finishing make it, I tell you like, yeah, that's it. But yeah, so I have it in those groups because like usually I'd like just send like one file because like my stuff is always well mixed and so on. So it's not like I have to send it for him for anybody to like mix my own file and so forth. That's one of the problems that we have in with the younger producers now. Like the sound of their stuff, like you guys need to mix your stuff a little bit better. Um, yeah, and a lot of times frequency plays a role, and that's why I show you guys that technique of using the high shelf, because I will tell you like it happens. When you go and you practice or you go live, like certain rhythms just going to like have like a high frequency just boosting out at you. But anyways, on to what we have to do. So yeah, so actually came to this, and this is what started the. But I wouldn't say this is what started the idea. I built the idea based on this, I would say, as my main sample. So you don't must use you don't must always use organic samples. As I've said before, you can make any sample into something. Like people will be like cymatics is like more or less for like yeah. So you see, like if I go back down, it actually in a EDM starter pack from cymatics, but it came in there and it's Bouyon naturally. Actually use some sims as well. So I use synths in the Riddim. So that is where you go those songs. And they basically play the melody and the counter melody in the rhythm. So this is what happens for these songs. And they basically just playing like the roots and uh basic I would say modulated into I think that's the I think that's the melodic minor. It was one of them. So usually you don't actually use like the notes a semitone above in a minor scale, only if you like go to like it's not wrong, but you like temporarily modulate. So it actually works, but it has like this theoretical stuff reason behind it. So this is all it's doing, and it does it again. But then In the second pattern, in the second half, it goes up to the fifth and the sixth. So it plays in harmony. So it does not play the root, it plays the harmony, the fifth. Next is this. It's just the fifth and the sixth again. This one is a layering of it. By itself, it's like it's a weird tone to have by itself. Like as you can hear, like it's kind of like chordy. It's kind of harmonic in a way. But if you use it in conjunction with like another tone like layering, like I mean some people might overlook it and don't think of using it, but like I would implement some mad techniques every now and then. I lie, not every now and then. I will always implement some mad techniques, so some mad kind of stuff. Yeah. So, well, anyways, so we have that. And I mean, like, you can hear it songs a lot better now with the layering, and like I have it at negative, like way down, and I also had it panned to the right. And it sounds better when the layering comes in because the layering has that strong tonality, whereas it has like a harmonic function, and the layering has like more like a tonic function or a single note function, a monophonic function basically, and this one is polyphonic. So with that, like it sounds better, but you might still question it. But then you have to remember, like this is like having it in solo, which is out of context. But when you put it in context, like those little features not going to really bother the ears and to more play like a harmonic role, and if anything, to cause tension and so forth. So the next step would be the lead sample. We're going from down to up. Like I know you guys like wondering like why it sounds so different, like because this is the original version. So not just like the tempo being raised, but there is also it's also pitched up by 2 semitones to be in key. Let's see. Yeah. So I brought it up to be in D minor because that's the key of the rhythm. So it's in D minor. And then I also did a little chord here. And Ableton has a function where you can like transpose something. So this is what happens here. It's being transposed, whereas if I take it out, this is what I do the song like. But with the transposition going down, this is what happens. What I did, I panned it slightly to the right, like free to the right. Like that creates like somewhat of a stereo image. And then my other things that I did was one, this is one of my this is our original songs, but I wanted to gel a little bit more into the rhythm and not be too high, too dry and upfront. So first thing was to get some stereo room. This is like a function that a plugin that I really love to use. Like I use it on a lot of stuff, like when I do my K-pop and so forth. So yeah, the difference, it puts it in a room. So it's like you sing in your bathroom. You'd song better singing in your bathroom than singing outside in live because your bathroom has that natural ambience of being in a room. So it has like that reflection for reverb. And then I also added like another room reverb on it from Valhalla Room. Get it simmered down a bit, and then I had my EQ on after. I cut it up to 677 hertz. You can put your EQ before. A lot of times I tend to put my EQ after if like I want it to also apply to my reverb. So in that case, I wanted to apply to the reverb, so I had the reverb go before, and then I just EQ'd everything out. Then this is the second vocal part. It's from this sample pack. Okay, so the first thing is this is in F sharp major. So basically we're already out of key. We're out of key. So for this to work, we'd have to like get it in the minor key, or something that a lot of people, because you guys don't like do music theory and stuff like that, a lot of people don't know that you could just like take something that's out of key and bring it in key by simply putting it in the relative major or minor. So this is in F. This is in F sharp major. To get it to be into to work with the key of D minor, which I am in. As you can see, I transpose by 11. I could just go down by 1, but I wanted it to be at a higher pitch. So I transpose by 11, and right there, it automatically went into F major. And F major is the relative major of D minor. So that is why it works. I panned it to the left, like hard, because Ableton is like 50-50 it goes to for the complete things. If I go to like complete, it stops at 50. And then I also applied some reverb on it. A lot more actually. So like 47% of reverb. And this is the bus. Don't really think much about the bus. The bus is just like me. Like this is the only thing that happens on all the buses, -6. This is to like balance all the volume levels. So like it does not clip or anything when all the songs come together. I'm sure I've probably shown you guys that technique already in my FL Studio, where I put like the FL balancer and just balance out the whole rhythm before I send it out. So this is what I'm doing here. The next one would be, yeah, MB voice mix. So as I said, like we in the key of D, but like like some samples like out of key, so their root would be somewhere else. So for me to play in D, for me to be in D, I would have to play on the B minor scale, or I could just transpose and put the sample in key. I felt it was too much work, and like it didn't really bother me, because like I know once I find my where the root is for the key that I'm working in, I know how to play. So like I just omit that. A lot of the times I'll just like put it in key for you guys that following in the video, so it makes a lot more sense. But I didn't really so bother like switching things in key when I already know like where to work with them and how. Once I find the where it is at, then it don't really bother me at this point. So the first thing I did, I put that stereo room again. And then I got the vocals to go onto the left, pan it to the left, so it wouldn't clash with this melodic song. Next was this. So this doesn't do much. Like I've told you guys before, you can have a ton of samples in a project. I've had projects that's gone like 7 that have like 30 plus samples. And yeah, guys have been like, dude, why? How and why? I'm like, it depends on how you use it. Like, you don't must have a sample playing like all through, doing like tons of stuff like this. You could just do like that simple little thing that I did here, which is just, and that is it. That's its only rule. So yeah, and then you could also get something to layer it and so forth. So you can use a sample very sparingly and just deal with it. The next one would be this. That's from my sample pack again, and Deluxe. You guys know, like from my videos, like I mainly use stuff in my sample pack. I rarely use some stuff outside my sample pack because that's like tailored to my taste and my tone, like what I want to use. So it does that in the second pattern, and in the first pattern it does this. And it repeats that same thing. Then another thing from my sample pack, the groove. Now, as I told you guys before, you can use it as like your whole basis for your background sample and just make like lead samples. So sometimes you probably just need to like load in like 6 samples and you have a complete rhythm because that's already like the whole foundation. But in my case, I mainly use like my loops as like filling in the space. So I'll have it very, very low to fill in the lower areas and just build my background samples and so forth most of the times. But you can use it anyway, actually. This, I can't remember where this is from. Oh, yeah. So this is from the natural sample pack. This is just a tambourine. So this is all it does. Then the next one is this. So this is a wave sampler. I dropped the plugin in here. The plugin is from my sample pack as well. MB copy. So it's this one. MB copy. It's this. MB copy. So sometimes I use the Ableton sampler, I'll just use like the wave sampler. And then I have it pan to the left here. Instead of doing it out here, I would sometimes like use the utility function and just do it here, like similar to like the FL balancer. And then I made like a cut of like 245 hertz. And this is all it does, basically. Plays this pattern on the root, and then it goes up to the octave. As I said, it's playing the root. It shows C, but it's playing in D. Remember, I don't transpose everything if I don't have to, because I already know what I'm doing. And then this is my pole again from my sample pack. It just makes this simple melodic pattern on the second rhythm pattern. Then we have this, which is from my sample pack again. MB Call Frost. So it's just this, like doing like a reversing it into itself. So this one is it being reversed into this one, and it's playing on the root. So it's playing on the D. So it comes twice and then that's it. Next one is MB Roman. Pan 20 to the right with some room on it. So this is what it does. Next one is the MBR call. With the room on it as well. So in the first reading pattern, this is what it does. And it just repeats. And then in the second pattern, it does this. next one is MB Whack. This is all it does. Very sparingly. And then MB Wood Clock with some room on it once again. I think the melodic structure stays the same in both patterns. Yeah, so it does the same thing all throughout. The melodic structure does not change. And then MB's Azazel with some room. Well, not some room, a lot of room, like 52% of room. You can use any reverb, like you can even use like the FL reverb and just like get like a room setting, which is like pulling back on certain things and whatnot. This is just like a dedicated plugin for room in specific. So this is the patterning for this one. Then the next one would be MB Trust Spool. The MB Trust Spool does 2 different patternings for the rhythm sections. So this is the first one. This is the second one. And then there's the cowbell, which I also threw some room on to like get it to just sync in the background. Because I'm sure you guys probably, yeah, I also transpose it down by 2. I'm sure you guys realize like I like to play with my cowbell a lot. Because it's more of like people have their cowbell loud, but I really like my cowbell loud. I like it to like simmer down in the background to like make that rhythmic structure. If you realize, if you take out this, if you take out these things at the starting, this is just like a drum pattern, like this, the default snare pattern for Bouyon. Tack, 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 tack. So I like to have my cowbell doing that kind of structure, and I just add like the extra one in front of it. And then this is the body of the everything, which is just like the bass. So I added go into key, and then it was like, it just didn't really have body. It didn't have body, so I added some waves Arabis on it, which basically just adds that body into everything. So you see like all that tough end coming. And by default, it's like, it's a stereo sample, so to get it to go mono, I switched on utility from Ableton, which has a function of like switching your whole bass section into mono. So this is a bass section. So everything below 158 was automatically placed into a mono setting. And then this is the last thing I did, was my car glow. It also lacked that body, so I used like a function where you can like, it's like similar to having a send and return, like an auxiliary. So I have this, which is the bottom end, doing the same thing like with the rock guitar, but I don't want it to be completely beefy. I did some of that high end to come through, so that's why I had like a dry and a wet one with it. So this is the body. This is the bones. This is the voice samples. This is the synths. So everything comes together. We have this. And then right here you could see like the stereo, like the plus one shows like you have a lot of stereo image, you have good stereo imaging. Negative one is more or less for like if you have mono, so to show you like you have a lot of mono and stuff like that. So this was how I created this rhythm in particular.
Girls, you want jam? Jump on a bad man. Jump on a bad man. Jump on a bad man. Yo, sexy girls, you want jam? Pretty girls, you want jam? Hot girls, you want jam? Luscious girls, you want jam? Jump on a bad man. Jump on a bad man.
So yeah, that is it, guys. So once again, thanks for watching. This was behind the curtain for this specific rhythm. We will have something again one time. I'll try to get some content again out very soon. Maybe the next one would be I'm not sure yet. I'll think what the next one is to be. I might just do something like new, because it's been a while since I've actually like done like Bouyon Riddims and stuff. So yeah, probably I might do something like that one time. But once again, shout out to the newcomers that's coming to the channel, subscribing. Thanks for liking the content and seeing it worth it to subscribe. I will have a lot of content so you can follow and get it in. I've been getting a few messages. I will answer any questions once I have the time, guys. So if you have any questions, you can ask. You can send me a DM on Instagram. I'll more or less like respond to Instagram or like emails. I know I have like Twitter and stuff, but I don't really use Twitter as much. But yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram, send me DMs if you have questions and so forth. I'll most likely have a drum sample pack coming out soon, the Dragon sample pack, which is like pre-organized drum songs. So it's like you don't actually have to do any mixing, you just like send it inside there and it's good to go. So it's this one. So as you can hear, all the samples in it is already mixed and ready to go. So once you load it inside, all you have to do is like you don't really have to do any volume adjustments. So at most they might be a little low at the time in your mix. So you can just like, if you want to bring up the volume of one, you can bring up the volume of all at the same level. So just bring up the volume of all at the same level and you're good to go, because they're already mixed. So you don't really have to like go and do like separate mixing for snare or anything like that. It's your choice, but as I said, it's already pre-mixed and ready to go. So look out for this. I'm thinking of either just just having it outside there like this, or probably like doing some additional stuff, like probably making some drum loops to go with it. Well, I'm not putting it out like this week, so if you guys think like I should add some drum loops with it or anything like this, just leave a comment. Leave a comment. I'll see the comments. Then I'll know if it's to make an additional, put some drum loops on with it and stuff. Because I know like a lot of you guys like be like, okay, well, the drum patterning and stuff and so forth. So yeah, so let me know and I'll decide what to do before I put out this pre-mixed drum kit. But yeah, thanks for subscribing, all the newcomers. Thanks for liking my content. Some guys are reaching out. Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for liking the taking interest in what I do, and so on. So just keep there, and I'll get back to you guys with more content very, very soon, as long as like I'm not very, very busy and stuff.